Hello everyone, just a quick update on the baby Versys with some things that I've done to it to make it more rideable and enjoyable on the road, and also give some updates on the general operation of it and how I'm liking it and what we're learning from it. But I'll do that kind of in a second part as I'm showing you through the trip we just got back from with my son. So anyway, one of the first things that I've done here is I've installed this throttle lock, just glued onto the electrical housing right here, and then just locks the throttle in place. Definitely not cruise control, but valuable enough to keep you going, so you can get your hands up off the grips. I think I bought that for 25 bucks on Amazon, and worth every penny. I put those on all of my motorcycles as I'm getting them situated to the way I like them. The second thing, or another thing that I've done, is added just a cheap cell phone mount here, that little bracket to put the cell phone in, so I can use it for my navigation and for music and phone calls and whatever else you want to do on your cell phone, because I don't have a GPS system, just use my phone. This one, really good addition. If you're going to be running with a GPS or with your phone, you need some power source to that. So I bought this cigarette lighter plug here and wired it up to the wires that Kawasaki already has down in the console that you can link up to. What I didn't realize when I put it in, and by the way, I just bought this off of Amazon for $8, I believe, and then just put a plug I've already had into that, and it works great. But what I didn't realize when I was installing it is that for some reason Kawasaki makes you buy a relay to make that system work, and that relay gets put right behind this left panel here. So I had to take off all the plastic here and here to get to that spot where the relay plugs in. I think the relay was 20 bucks or something. Why they didn't just put that in to start with is beyond me. I have no idea if that electrical system requires that relay to work. Why are we having to buy that plus the 12 volt socket? I don't know, just really stupid. They should just put it in when they wired the whole system. It's a little bit difficult to get to, and because I'm mechanically retarded, it took me several hours. It took the plastic off multiple times and didn't realize I needed the relay, so I couldn't figure out why it wasn't working until I called Kawasaki to find out that I did have to buy an additional part. Anyway, it's wired up now, working great, and provides the power I need to charge my electronics. Another thing that I've added to the pretty hard seat that this motorcycle has is just a Maddog seat cover. I took all of their buckle things off because they're big and they don't fit in the right places, and just hooked that on with some black paracord, and that works great. And it's not so bulky. I also cut that, I don't know if you can see, but I cut that seat back, or that seat cover back, because it's too long. Just kind of fit it for my needs. And then this on the back here is just for my son. He's pretty concerned about being comfortable back there, so I just took this memory foam office pad and strapped it on there for the trip that we just went on. So he seemed to like that and didn't complain about being uncomfortable at all. So heck, maybe I'll steal that from him and put it down here for myself. Pretty cheap addition anyways. These plugs you see hanging out here are just some 12 volt sockets that I just wired directly to the battery, and those are for this heating pad. So I just bought this car seat heating pad off of Amazon for $20, and it just plugs into a cigarette lighter plug, and it's got a high, low, and off setting that you can switch that to. And what I do with that, I don't sit on it, but I wrap it around my torso, and now that the weather's turned colder, it keeps me warm, and it roasts pretty good. It's pretty dang warm. So I have one of those for my son and one of those for myself. And on this ride we just went on, I just wrapped those around us, and when we got up in the mountain passes, those things cooked us pretty well. So works good. Those, again, that was $20 off Amazon, and instead of buying a $150 vest from who makes that, Tour Master or somebody who makes a really nice vest that you can plug in and warm up with. But I thought I'd try this, and it works great. No regrets at all. And I don't know if I mentioned this already, but these are just wired right to the battery. Works just fine. No issues. The system seemed to run both of our seat pads on high, plus the other electronic equipment and charging my cell phone. The stator seemed to put out enough power so it wasn't draining the battery, and didn't cause us any problems. So it worked just fine. I was a little concerned that maybe it would draw too much power, but it worked great. Now, my favorite addition is this. This is a DeWalt tool trunk. A little different than a toolbox in that it's pretty wide. I don't remember the dimensions on it, but it's a lot more square than a regular toolbox. And I just bolted that right to the luggage rack, and it's got tons of space on our overnight trip. This is all we used. I didn't use the saddlebags or any other duffel bags or anything. One cool thing about it is this seal runs all the way around the top, so it keeps it waterproof, supposedly. So hopefully that'll be good. I bought that for $44 at Home Depot instead of paying the, what is it, $150 or something for the Kawasaki trunk. So those are some of the updates. Looking into getting a new windshield that will provide some more wind protection. Where it sits now and the angle it sits at seems to cause me some pretty good buffeting on my helmet. Pretty noisy and gives me a headache. So I'm going to look into getting a Maddog windshield that can adjust back and forth and up and down, and provide me some better wind protection. But I'm pretty tall. I'm 6'3", so I sit pretty high up there in the wind and just get my head rattled. So that's it for now. I'll give you some other information on just generally how the motorcycle's doing and what I think about riding it across country with an additional rider. Even though he's a 10-year-old kid, maybe weighs 110 pounds, but just give you some thoughts on that later. That's all for now. Thanks.